Breaking news we're tracking at the moment. Lindsey Graham, United States senior senator from South Carolina, claimed that India's ambassador to the United States had asked for relief on Washington's 25% punitive tariffs on India, citing reduced Russian oil purchases. Our Indian envoy, Vinay Mohan Quatra, not only sought relief on the sanctions, but also wanted Mr. Graham to convey the message directly to President Donald Trump. This is what the senator has told reporters. In fact, additionally, according to Mr. Graham, the discussion surfaced during a meeting at Mr. Quatra's house last month. To quote him, he said, "I was at the Indian ambassador's house a month ago, and all he wanted to talk about was how India is buying less Russian oil. And he asked me to tell the president to relieve the 25% tariff." The senator stated while he was aboard Air Force One with Donald Trump. Listen in to his big claim.
I was at the Indian ambassador's house about a month ago, and all he wanted to talk about is how they're buying less Russian oil. Would you tell the president to relieve the tariff? This stuff works. So I'm hoping we'll bring the bill up, and it's from 0 to 500. He picks the number, nobody else does. But if you're buying cheap Russian oil, keeping Putin's war machine going, we're trying to give the president the ability to make that a hard choice by tariffs. I really do believe that what he did with India is the chief reason India is now buying substantially less Russian oil.
My colleague Aditya Raj Kaul has been tracking the finer developments. He joins us live with further clarity at this point. Aditya, a big claim coming in from the US Senator alongside Donald Trump. Do we know whether Vinay Mohan Quatra personally lobbied against these tariffs? Do we have an official response coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs or anything they're saying behind the scenes yet?
Well, Parmeshwar, if the meeting had taken place and if Indian ambassador to the United States, Vinay Mohan Quatra, had asked US to reduce the tariffs, there's nothing wrong with it. This is, in fact, what the job of Indian diplomats really is. So there is a needless controversy by certain elements in the Indian politics domestically on this particular issue. But the reality of the matter is that the job of any diplomat, especially an ambassador, is to engage with the senior political and geopolitical and diplomats in the region and discuss amicably issues that have created problems or rough patch between the countries. Tariff is one issue that has substantially increased a lot of talk between India and US over the last 1 year, especially after 25% tariffs were imposed and then significantly increased to 50%. Of course, Lindsey Graham, a senior figure in the US politics, yesterday on board Air Force One claimed that a month ago he had met the Indian ambassador Vinay Mohan Quatra, in which Quatra said that the Russian oil purchase has been significantly decreased to calm the tempers in Washington, D.C., and now the tariffs need to be reduced. This is a significantly diplomatic move, nothing illegal in this, nothing morally wrong in this. This is something that the Ministry of External Affairs would certainly also back. There's no statement as such by the MEA on this because this is a diplomatic matter, but certainly a political storm on this domestically on the issue in the opposition attacking the Modi government on this particular issue. But one last point, Parmeshwar, that when this meeting took place, presumably in the last week of November or the first week of December, at that particular time, the Russian oil purchase by India was at its peak. So I'm not pretty sure what Lindsey Graham really means right now. But the reality of the matter is that the negotiations and talks between India and US on the trade deal and on the issue of tariffs continues, and there's no final word that has come out yet.
Aditya, you've mentioned there's nothing illegal as far as personal lobbying is concerned. But tell us, what does this tell us about India's behind-the-scenes lobbying strategy with the Trump administration, considering we're also finalizing a trade deal?
Well, India is acting tough. Donald Trump himself has appreciated India's negotiation tactics in the past and said that they are some of the toughest negotiators, be it from Ministry of External Affairs, be it from Ministry of Commerce, or from the Modi government itself. In the past, during the Russia-Ukraine crisis in the last 4 years as well, there's been considerable pressure on India, be it from Europe, be it from US or the Western Hemisphere, where of course India has been asked to join Ukraine and Europe against Russia. But India has stood its stand that India stands for strategic autonomy and will not join any one camp against the other. India has historic ties with Russia and will maintain good amicable ties with Ukraine and anybody that backs Ukraine as well, and wants dialogue and diplomacy to pave the way forward. Similarly, when it comes to tariff issues, economic challenges, and of course India-US strategic bilateral cooperation, India maintains that it will not try to reduce the debate to public mudslinging, but instead have a dialogue and diplomacy between the two countries behind closed doors.
Aditya, thanks so much as always for breaking down the details for us.